Hey y'all, it's Nerdy Dog Girl again here. So I'm doing a little update video on what's been going on and kind of discussing a not nice topic. And before I start, I just want to let you guys know, if you want to know who this is about, I have put down the name and the information on Doll Transactions Gone Wrong on Facebook, but I'm not going to spread a bunch of like stuff about this person. I don't want to like bring up stuff. I don't want a big witch hunt. So that's why I'm not going to say the person's name on here, and please don't ask me because I will not say, just because I don't believe in just perpetuating drama, if that's the correct term for it. So like I said, if you want to know who it is, please go on the Facebook Dolls Transactions Gone Wrong. But again, it really doesn't matter the specific person's name that I had an issue with. It's kind of just a life lesson to for you, period, as someone who buys and sells. So I got scammed. I was selling my BJD kimono, and I had been posting it on like mostly Facebook and also on eBay. Unfortunately, eBay right now, I don't know like why, but there's just really not a lot of presence on there. There's not a lot of people checking stuff out and everything. So yeah, anyways, I got contacted about this kimono, and the girl who asked about it, she said that she asked me how much it was, and I told her I was asking $80, and that included the kimono with like all the traditional kimono stuff and a doll heart wig and a fan. And she's like, okay, that's a lot. Would you be willing to do layaway? And I said, sure. Because I understand. I mean, like I've said before, I can't usually just go buy something. I have to sell something else or what have you. So, I definitely do layaway within reason. And she's like, okay, great. And then she said, well, I said, so it's $80 shipped to US and Canada. And she lived in, Australia. So I said, well, unfortunately, Canada Post is insane. A lot of people really get upset when they hear how much cost is to ship, because with PayPal, you have to ship with tracking and insurance. You have to. It's just, that's what they make you do. And ground shipping is just not even worth trying, because I have done shipping with tracking and insurance that was ground, because it just costs so much less. And the item took 6 months to arrive. Yeah, the person who bought it was furious with me, and I had to actually go through to look, because they thought it was lost and everything. And so it was a nightmare. So I never do that anymore. I only do air. So anyways, it's very expensive. So I told her how much it was. It was $60. Again, insanity. It's not my fault. If you live in Canada and ship from Canada, you completely understand what I'm talking about. If you don't, then you probably think I'm nuts, but it's true. I wish that we had the US post system. It's so much better, or the UK post system. It is so much better, but yeah, we don't. So anyways, so she was like, ugh, okay, well, I'm going to put a down payment on it. I said, okay. So she gave me a down payment of $30. And then about a day or two later, she said, when are you going to ship the item? And I said, okay, well, I'm going to ship it as soon as it's fully paid for. And she said, oh, well, why can't you just ship it now? I've bought dolls that are like $400, and the person shipped it once I gave them $100. Why can't you do that? And I said, because that's crazy. Like, not to be rude, but I'm not going to ship something that I have not been paid for, especially since shipping is $60. You gave me $30. I would be out not only $30 more, but the $80 for the item. And she's like, well, I'm very, very trustworthy and blah, blah, blah. And I said, this is not about you. This is not about your trustworthiness or anything. This is just logical. Like, you don't do that. So she's like, she didn't say anything. And then a couple days later, she said, can you please give me back my money? And when I do layaway, I do non-refundable deposits. And I tell people flat out, this is non-refundable. You know, because if I hold an item, that means that I'm missing out on all these other people who could be wanting it. And just like holding an item for months on end is just, it's just, if you don't have something, because someone could just be like, okay, actually, never mind. Because I actually sold I sold a doll head, and the girl said, I'm going to pay you on the 8th. The 8th came around, and she's like, oh, actually, I can't pay you. So I held it for that. It was almost a month. I held it for almost a month. And she didn't give me any deposits or anything because I didn't ask for one, because I thought she was going to pay for it on the 8th. The 8th rolled around, she couldn't do it. So it's just not smart as a seller. So I said, so I was getting really bad vibes from the fact that she was asking me to ship this item without paying for it in full, and really putting it on that I, you know, don't trust her. And I'm like, it's not you, kind of thing. But whatever. So it was a couple days, a week later, she said, I really need my $30 back. And she gave me this sob story about how her mom was sick and she needed the money for the medicine and blah, 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 blah. And I said, I'm sorry, hon, like, but I don't do refunds. Like, that's just, I told you flat out in full, you know, I don't do refunds. And if you needed the $30 for your medication, like, you shouldn't have given me $30. Like, you should, you know, if it's your last $30, it's not smart to give me it, right? Kind of a thing. And I know I'm going to have people saying, oh, well, you should have just given it back and, you know, whatever. You can do what you do. I have to do what I do. This is what I've done. I've been selling for almost 15 years. This is how I have to work my business. So I said, I'm sorry. Like, and it was very questionable, this thing that happened. And I said, I'm sorry, hon. Like, but I don't do refunds. I already said I don't do refunds. I told you in great detail, like, that you need to agree that I'm not doing refunds. And you did. So I'm sorry, but no. Well, she flipped out at me and started saying that she hopes that I get really ill and that no one wants to help me, and that I get so sick, and like, just really horrible things to me, and wishing me ill. And it really upset me. And I said to her, like, look, I'm done. This is ridiculous. Like, I'm done. I can't sell something to someone who does this to me. And so she proceeded to get a PayPal claim going against me, saying that I never shipped the item. Which I didn't ship the item because I didn't get paid in full. So I talked to PayPal and I explained that it was a non-refundable deposit. And me thinking that this was okay, since most people do non-refundable deposits, or at least they do deposits, they said, yeah, we don't take deposits for items. If you get paid, we just see that you got paid. We don't know how much the item is worth or anything, so you can't do non-refundable deposits. So she got her money back, whatever, it's fine. But it could have easily been a scam. If I hadn't have said, okay, let's just refund her the money, whatever, like, just let's move on, then I would have had to ship the item that was almost $100 or over $100 to her for $30. So even someone like me who's been selling for so long literally almost got ripped off because of semantics and the way that PayPal does their business. So this video was just kind of saying to you guys, if you start to feel uncomfortable with a seller or a buyer, even though you might be getting money, like if you're the seller and you think, okay, well, I'm going to put up with this because I'm going to get the money eventually. If you have like these bad feelings and you're not sure, like they start asking you things like, please send it without paying for it in full, you got to listen to your gut, because it's probably a scam. And I wish I had done that, because it was her trying to scam me. So yeah, it sucks. But now I know I can't take non-refundable deposits. And it just kind of makes selling even more challenging, which it already was. So, yeah, buying and selling, you learn over the years, this kind of stuff. I don't like to trade. I'm not comfortable with trading. I know lots of people have had no problems with trading, but I'm just very uncomfortable with the thought of sending something and not getting paid for it. So if it's something you're comfortable with, that's awesome. But if you're starting to feel like weirded out by a person, definitely trust your gut and ask for feedback. And I usually do, but again, I didn't, because I just really wanted to sell it and I really needed the money. So that was on me. So thank you guys for listening. Again, please don't attack me if you disagree with my selling practices. Everybody does things differently. And again, please don't ask me who it is, because I don't want to spread a bunch of drama. I just want to talk about this case and how this happened, and how you guys can, that it's not just you. If you've dealt with stuff like this, like scams happen, and unfortunately it's a part of this hobby, and I wish it wasn't, but you know, and learning now that PayPal does not cover you for non-refundable deposits is something that I'm really glad that I learned, because it was $30 and it was just for a couple weeks. It wasn't like I had been holding this item for months on end, because that would have literally sucked. So at the end of the day, I really am not suffering. It's just irritating. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you like this video, and if you like it, please like, share, and subscribe. If you don't like this video, then I guess thumbs down. But thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to you later. Bye.